Hi, welcome to Classic Car Cave. So this is just a bit of an update. I'm not showing any cars or anything in this, but just to give you an update of where we are. So I bought this Agfa thing the other day, 4K in Graz. I tried filming the intro with it. The quality looks shit. I should have known better for whatever it was, 199 euros. What you're going to get is garbage. The biggest problem with it is that you've got to, you either have to take the SD card out and then put it into this little small SD card. You have to put this into here to put this into this old-fashioned one, and I can't get it to upload. The only way I can get it to upload is to use the bigger cable and straight into the back of the display into my main monitor and get it to work, and it just looks shit. So I'm not even going to crack on with it. I'll see if anybody wants it and move it on. So this is my old Sony. Yeah, I should have realised. I mean, what I really need is a good camera with the microphones with it. I do have some mics that I can put on my Sony, but it's just getting past its sell-by date. But the picture quality on this compared to that, chalk and cheese. So don't buy shit, don't buy cheap rubbish. I should have known better. It's €200 wasted. There you go. Anyway, just to give you an update. So this morning I went over to Max's at 10 o'clock. The engine was completely stripped. So we will be putting all new shells, all new bearings, all new thrust washers, seals, you name it. But the camshaft, the crank and everything is good. The rods are good. But just as a matter of course, we will. There's a little bit of wear, but not too much. But we'll do it as a matter of course anyway. And I'll be buying most of that stuff from MED, which is this jacket that I've got on, because I need these Omega pistons the same. But what we'll do is we'll buy the dish pistons. Now, as it turns out, as you'll see in this little bit of video that I did in Max's workshop. Now, I didn't show anything around the workshop because he doesn't like me filming there, so I only filmed the engine itself. I've got to, it's his place, and I don't want to. He doesn't like people looking around it and so on and so forth. That's up to him. It's his collection. It's his cars. But you can see in the video that there is actually liners in this block. Okay, so Max has got the thing completely down, and there is actually liners in it, whether they're original or not. You can just see the edge there. But there is liners in it.
Yeah,
so,
especially here, you can see it.
Yeah, you can see it so much here on the side here. That there's liners in it. So that's good, because it means we can put liners back in it and maybe reduce the CC, maybe take it to 1293. Or even maybe 1310 again, whatever. But the fact is they've already been in there, so that's good news. So we're going to go off to the machine shop and see what the chap has to say, and then we'll go from there. We're also going to take the head, but not today. But we're going to check the head, make sure everything's good on it. It looks okay, but fingers crossed, we'll see. But yeah, the fact it's had liners in it already. You can see where that cutout is there. That's kind of good news. So that means that we can get new liners for it and just take these ones out and replace them. I think they come as 1275. What we probably do is, if we can get the liners, we'll bore them out to 1293 or go back to 1310 again. The problem is the further and further you go up, the less and less liner you've got, and the water jacket, and you're putting things to a higher degree. And this is why I wanted to keep it at 1310 and not go to 1330 or what is it, 1380 I think is the biggest you can bore it out to. But you're right on the limit. Once you're at 1380 and anything goes wrong, you're done. You've got to either get a new block or new liners, whatever. And the damage will be catastrophic because you've got a very thin liner wall. So as I said, what we'll do is we'll put dish pistons in this, so that'll bring down the compression ratio, and which is probably what, in hindsight, we should have done in the first place. Unfortunately, at the time, MED only had flat tops; they didn't have dish pistons, and we wanted the engine done, and we went with it. But initially the car was going to do short little runs, sort of, you know, 8-10 minute runs, and it was just going to be sprints or hill climbs, which don't last long, 10 minutes. Some of them don't even last that, some are a few minutes. And then obviously we weren't doing that, we were going on a circuit where it was 30-minute runs, and obviously with the compression being as high as it was. I mean, even the Miglias, I believe, are only 11-1, so 12-1 was far too much. Anyway, we've kind of learned from that, and this obviously now shows me why we had so much problems with the plugs. I could not get the engine to start on the hot plugs. I had to put standard plugs in it, get it hot, and then change it to race plugs, and almost every time we went out on it you had to change the plugs. So I had a big block which I've got in the box with like 3 sets. But I'm thinking with that kind of pressure at 12-1, this is probably why we're having so much problems with it sooting up and so on and so forth. Because there's a lot of pressure for that plug to spark under. So as I say, we'll drop it down and hopefully we won't have this problem again. And we will change the diff from we've got a 3.7 at the moment, which is for sprinting and for hill climbing, and it's too really low. We need something taller for a track use, to get more road speed out of it. So we're going to go with a 3.1 diff in it. So that's something that we're going to change as well, and completely rebuild the engine, and we'll go from there. The other little thing is David, a friend of mine, David Service in the States, was kind enough to send me out a lock for the cubby box for the XK150, because the brand new one I bought is not the same. The distance that it comes out is too far, and it won't lock. It wouldn't lock unless we're going to use these spacers. So he sent me the original one, which is this one here, and the other one we would have to use spacers with it. This is the original lock was in it. As you can see, it's nicely chrome, but obviously the lock system inside's gone. So that's another nice thing, so we can get that sorted out. Yeah, I got a phone call I had a WhatsApp with my friend Martin, and he has received now the wiper motor from Coventry for the XK150 from Coventry Auto Components. It was £300 to restore it, and they have actually in fact restored the original one, the one that we sent them, because we took photographs of them. Martin now has it back in his house in Blackpool, and he said, I'm pretty much 100% sure that it's the original one, not just the plate but the body, because he took photographs of all bits of it. And even though they've sandblasted it, hopefully they've put all new motors in it and so on and so forth, which you should have done for £300, which is a lot, I think, for a wiper motor. But this is what you have to pay with classic cars, unfortunately. And he's got also the fuel gauge, which is a brand new one. But again, you have to send your old gauge in, but they actually got one off the shelf, so he took it in and he got a new one back the same day. So it's not the original one, but it is an original one. Also, the company Jones in Birmingham, who are doing the springs for the 1936 Citroen, have said they'll be finished this week. That's the front and back and all the drop hangers, pins, the whole lot. Hopefully they're going to get them on the way. Well, they should be finished sometime next week, and then I'll find out what the cost is. There was a little bit of a heart-pumping moment where the chap said to Martin, my friend, because he spoke to him from the UK, oh yeah, that's the Aston Martin Lagonda ones, and he said, no, they're for a Citroen. And anyway, they got it mixed up because they came up with 5 springs instead of the 4, 2 at the rack and 2 at the front. And the price was like crazy, as you would imagine for an Aston Martin Lagonda. So I'm expecting around about £700 or something like that, which is very reasonable to repair all the bits that needed doing and get the springs back into tension. How they do it, I don't know. I would like to find out. In fact, I'll ask Martin if he can find out what they do. They must heat treat them in some way. That's the only thing I can think. And lastly, the hot tub is working beautifully. It's really helping with my back. If nothing else, it's very, very relaxing. I turn the lights off in here and just have the lights up the end. And I bought this as a little thing. It's a thing that fits on the side of the hot tub, You can put your beer in it and your ashtray, it's perfect. I know I'm not suggesting, like I say in the video here. There's that little thing to put on the side of the hot tub. I bought that separately in another shop. I think it was like €12, but it works really well. Stretches out nice, fits on it. It's nice and strong. And I'm not. Please don't send anything in, any comments about alcohol and hot tubs. I know I'm nearly 70. I think I'm grown up enough to know not to get in when you've had too much to drink. But I'm just trying to show what you can buy with these things. I also bought a thermometer which I'm going to have to stick on the wall. It's showing there now 16, but it was up to 20. I've just turned the heater off down here, but it was up to 20, which is perfect. Nice getting out and you're not cold. You drink alcohol when it comes to a hot tub. That's obviously you've got to be a bit careful about it. Use your sense, use your common sense. Anyway, on that note, when I get something done, I'll come back and I'll show you what we're up to. I think the next thing I have to do is really get on with this front subframe for the Mark III, and then when Martin and his wife come over in February, early February, they're coming out to give us a hand. We'll put the front on and get it all lined up so it's ready for welding. So on that note, as usual, stay safe, keep the faith, enjoy your hobby, and be good to each other. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.